Hi there again, this is Andy Patnou with Quick Tip Tuesday. We're going to talk about the putter again. Again, we're talking about a lot of putting tips here because, believe it or not, this is probably the most important part of your game that you have to be relatively pretty good at if you want to lower your scores. Most people, when they come for us for lessons, 99.9% of them are on the full swing. The issue, though, is that most people, when they lose their strokes on the golf course, is actually mostly with this club next to their driver. So I want to talk about today, just because we're starting the season again here at TPC Scottsdale. It's November almost, and that's usually when our season starts. So one of the basic questions I get asked all the time is, where should my ball sit and where should my posture be for kind of a quick little putting thing? Well, pretty simple. Even though this isn't necessarily perfectly examined, we kind of want the putter to swing back and forth kind of just from one little point. And the reason why we want that is that we want that putter to be kind of swinging on somewhat kind of closer to a pendulum. Even though it's not a true pendulum, I'm going to get kind of rash for saying it, but let's keep it pretty simple. Right? So we want the putter head swinging kind of relatively close to this. We don't want it traveling like that. So the ball position, if we want to get everything collected right at the bottom of that little arc, should be relatively right in the bottom of the arc too when we're sitting here. So if I was just holding it from my chest here and letting it swing back and forth, you can kind of see where that ball position would kind of be. Either slightly towards the middle or slightly just forward the middle would be perfect. That could allow us to catch the putter a little bit on the upstroke, or catch the ball a little bit on the upstroke, and allow us to get that golf ball to be rolling more end over end as close as we can. So pretty simple there. Make sure the ball is either slightly in the middle of your stance or slightly forward and middle. Never too far back, never too far forward. Second thing now, posture, is basically in terms of where we should actually have the ball set in terms of relationship to our eyes. So all of us, like reading magazines, books, or whatever, or if you're looking at your phone, none of us would read a book where we're looking at down like this. We always try keeping that book relatively in front of our face. So what you're going to do here is I want you to imagine that you're reading a book, and you're going to sit there and push your butt back, bend forward, bend forward, bend forward until you can read that book and feel like that book is nice and flat to the ground. What you're going to notice is that that book then is going to be that golf ball, and my eyes now are going to be resting relatively right over that golf ball as much as I can. Right? So the reason why I want this is just that keeps me and everything in motion here in terms of keeping it really simple looking down at that golf ball. If I was looking at it too much this way, I'll be too tall, and if I was looking more down this way, it'd kind of have you kind of inhibit my stroke a little bit. So keeping it pretty simple, again, straight legs, read that book, push your butt back, bend forward, and wait until that book is nice and flat to the ground, and then you can kind of see that your heads are resting right over that golf ball, and relatively looking down from here is wherever your eyes kind of rest is relatively where that ball should kind of sit. All right. Again, this is Andy Patnou here at TPC Scottsdale. Hope that tip helps with your putting. Let me know.